Welcome to the Uncovered Stories channel. Trust is the bedrock of any relationship. It's the invisible thread that binds two people together, allowing them to feel safe, cherished, and understood. Without trust, even the strongest bonds can begin to unravel. But what happens when that foundation crumbles? When the very thing you relied on most is suddenly gone, the world you built together can collapse in an instant. This is Anna Clark's story, a woman who thought she had it all. A loving husband, 2 children, a perfect life. To everyone around her, Anna's world looked idyllic, almost enviable. But beneath the surface, a devastating secret was festering, hidden in the shadows of their everyday life. Anna's days were filled with family routines, laughter, and love. She believed she was the luckiest woman in the world, grateful for every moment she shared with her family. David, her husband, was her rock. He praised her, called her just to say he loved her, and made her feel secure. Their life seemed unbreakable, a partnership built on years of shared memories and trust. But a perfect picture can hide 1,000 flaws. Sometimes, the most beautiful moments are just a mask for what's really going on. Anna had no reason to doubt David, no reason to question his late nights or business trips. She trusted him completely, never suspecting that anything was amiss. He was the man who held her hand through childbirth, who comforted her in grief, who stood by her side through every challenge. The idea of betrayal was unthinkable. It was something that happened to other people, not to her. Yet secrets have a way of coming to light. No matter how carefully they're hidden, the truth always finds a crack to slip through. Anna was living in a carefully constructed reality, one David had built for her, brick by brick, lie by lie. The truth, no matter how ugly, always finds a way to surface. Even the smallest leak can eventually flood a home. Her world was about to shatter. Everything she believed in, everything she trusted, was about to be put to the ultimate test. This isn't just a story about betrayal, it's about the strength it takes to start over, to rebuild when everything you know has been torn apart. For anyone who thinks they truly know the person beside them, Anna's story is a wake-up call, a reminder that trust is precious, and sometimes more fragile than we realize. Sometimes the greatest danger is the secret you never see coming, and when trust shatters, the journey to healing is just beginning. The first crack in Anna's world appeared on a Tuesday night, a night that seemed ordinary until it wasn't. David had fallen asleep on the couch, his phone resting just out of reach, the soft glow of the television flickering across his peaceful face. Suddenly, a message lit up the screen. "Can't wait to see you tomorrow, the kids miss their daddy." The words seemed to pulse in the darkness, impossible to ignore. Anna froze, her heart pounding. Their children were asleep upstairs. Who were these kids? The question echoed in her mind, sharp and unsettling. She tried to rationalize. Maybe it was a wrong number, a joke, or perhaps a cousin reaching out. She clung to any explanation that would make the message harmless. But the message was from someone named Laura, a name that felt both familiar and foreign, now loaded with suspicion. Doubt took root, growing with every passing hour. Anna lay awake, replaying the message in her mind, searching for answers in the silence. The next morning David was his usual self, loving, attentive, normal. He smiled, made breakfast, and kissed her cheek. Yet everything felt different, as if a thin layer of ice had formed between them. Anna couldn't bring herself to ask about the message. The words caught in her throat, heavy with fear and uncertainty. What if she was wrong? What if she shattered their peace over nothing? Worse, what if she was right? The possibility was almost too much to bear. She watched him leave for work, her trust shaken, her mind racing with questions she was too afraid to voice. The name Laura echoed in her mind all day, a constant reminder that something was amiss. The phrase, "the kids miss their daddy," haunted her, twisting her thoughts into knots she couldn't untangle. Anna's perfect life now felt like a fragile illusion, a delicate glass that could shatter at any moment. She became an actress in her own home, pretending everything was normal, hiding her turmoil behind practiced smiles and gentle words. The first crack had appeared, and Anna knew, deep down, that it was only the beginning of a much larger unraveling. The crack widened, creeping silently through the foundation of Anna's world. Each day, Anna noticed more signs, small things out of place, a growing sense of unease that she couldn't ignore. A restaurant receipt for 2, dated on a night David was working late, sat accusingly on the counter. Odd credit card charges from unfamiliar towns, a toy store, a florist, places Anna had never visited, gifts she never received. The late nights and business trips became more frequent, and the empty side of the bed grew colder. When Anna asked, David's answers were vague, his eyes darting away, his stories never quite adding up. One evening she smelled unfamiliar perfume on his shirt, a scent that didn't belong to her, lingering like a warning. The denial she clung to was slipping away, replaced by a gnawing suspicion she could no longer suppress. Anna became a detective in her own home, searching for clues in drawers, pockets, and the digital traces he left behind. She checked his phone, more messages from Laura, filled with love, longing, and secret plans for the future. They talked about a weekend trip, a son's birthday, their son, a life Anna never knew existed. The words hit Anna like a blow. David had another child. The evidence was overwhelming, impossible to deny. The man she loved was living a double life, and the truth was shattering. Anna couldn't live in suspense any longer. The time for answers had come. She needed the full truth, no matter how much it hurt, determined to face whatever came next. The web of lies was unraveling fast, and Anna was ready to confront the reality she could no longer escape. The time for suspicion was over. Anna needed certainty. When David left for a business conference, Anna followed him. She tracked him to a quiet suburban street, not a hotel but a blue house. She watched as David greeted a woman, Laura, and two children who called him Daddy. Anna saw her husband living a parallel life, a mirror image of her own. The shock was overwhelming. It was one thing to suspect, another to see it. Every memory, every "I love you," now felt like a bitter lie. Anna sat in her car, paralyzed by grief. The lights in the blue house flickered on, illuminating the happy family inside, her family, his other family. The pain was searing. Anna realized she'd been living in a fantasy. The man she thought she knew didn't exist. Her life would never be the same again. Anna drove home in a daze. The image of the blue house burned into her mind. She waited for David to return, her anger cold and sharp. When he walked in, she confronted him. How was Laura? The truth was undeniable. David's mask slipped. He confessed. An affair, another family, years of lies he tried to justify to claim he loved them both. His excuses were hollow. Anna listened, her love curdled into contempt. There was no screaming, just the quiet, devastating end of a marriage. She told him to leave, not to Laura but anywhere else. The children were confused, heartbroken. Anna faced the impossible task of explaining their father's betrayal. The truth was out, but the fallout was just beginning. The family was shattered. Anna's world had collapsed, but she was still standing. The scars would remain. The healing had to begin. The aftermath was chaos, two families shattered by one man's lies. Anna had to explain the unexplainable to her children. Laura too was a victim. She never knew about Anna. The two women shared a single heartbreaking call. 4 children's lives were upended. Anna's grief was overwhelming, but she sought therapy and support. She learned David's betrayal was not her fault. Slowly, she rebuilt her life, focusing on her children, finding stability. She rediscovered herself, went back to school, reconnected with friends. Anna became independent, strong, resilient. Her life was no longer perfect, but it was real. The scars remained, but they no longer defined her. She learned to trust again, starting with herself. Anna's journey is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. How well do we ever truly know the person beside us, and what secrets might be hiding beneath a perfect life?